What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Celtics Daily Channel with me, Mike Zakarian. Almost just introduced a whole different show. That you could see my brain racking up in real time because not only is the internet not working properly today, neither is your boy, apparently. Apologies for the delay, although maybe it's going out the same normal time. But we tried to record this thing, gosh, I don't know, 5 hours ago, and the internet was like, nah, we're taking the morning off on a Tuesday. But hope everybody's been getting after it. Appreciate you for tuning in. If it was your first time here, do me a favor, hit the subscribe. Let's boost the numbers, boost the algo. You can even tell in my delivery today that the caffeine is fully formed. Normally, I'm recording this in between that first sip of coffee. We're at coffee like 3 at this point of the day. So just mainline that caffeine. All right, let's get into it. Celtics and Nets tonight. It feels like this. I know the Celtics played on Sunday, but because it's like a Sunday afternoon game, NFL's going on. You're spending time with your family. I feel like we haven't had a nighttime Celtics game in a while, like a part of the main slate. We're getting that tonight. I'm excited we're getting it tonight. Celtics are taking on the Brooklyn Nets in Brooklyn, which is, I live in New York. I'm surprised I don't have tickets to this game, but maybe it's because it's the Brooklyn Nets and I don't want to see them play basketball. But we have the Nets and the Celtics tonight. The Celtics are favored by 10.5 points. And now listen, I know Brooklyn's bad, but there's no part of me that is comfortable yet with the Celtics having a double-digit favorite over anybody, right? It's just we haven't. I don't know if we've proven that we can be that kind of guy. But I am excited about this game because it does seem like the Celtics have found a rhythm a little bit, right? Peyton Pritchard over his last couple of games, the shot has been starting to fall. It seems like he's getting his confidence back, and that seemed. I was just about to throw out a number like that's 90% of shooting is just confidence. I don't know that. I don't have that to back that up, but it seems like he's found his confidence, his stride a little bit. He looks good. Derek White's been seeing the ball go through the net a little bit. And then it's like the Celtics have found this new Jordan Walsh, this Walshy kid who all of a sudden has played himself into starters minutes, into the rotation. And it's been great. It's been great to see. And I'm wanting to see the Celtics build off of this because I do think this next 2-game stretch is relatively important, even though it's just a home and away against the Brooklyn Nets, having 2 games for them back to back. But we've gone over the schedule, right? They have some tougher games coming up down the pipe. And to be able to build on this momentum a little bit, I think is important. When you look at their standings right now, and we're going to talk about some of the things going around the league that have opened some doors a little bit. The Celtics right now are 7-7. They're in the 11 seed, but because of how the East has been, like, yes, they're in the 11 seed, but they are 2 games out of the 3 seed, okay? So it's still so jumbled up, and even the juggernauts of the Cavs and the Bing Bong Boys of New York, they don't really look like, you know, the teams that we were scared of to begin with. And I know we're kind of jumbling up the Celtics and Nets and the ceiling, our first 2 things, but we can talk about those simultaneously, right? Just quickly, the Pistons have been on fire. They're winning without Cade Cunningham. They actually have a pretty exciting game tonight against the Atlanta Hawks, but they're 12-2, right? Far and away best team in the East right now. The Cavs, who got a win over the Bucks last night, they're 10-5. But then it's Raptors 9-5, Hawks 9-5, Knicks 8-5, Sixers 8-5. Celtics are right there at 7-7. So it's not outrageous to think that the Celtics could just hang around a little bit. So that's why these next couple of games are important to get a little cushion above 500, and it's Brooklyn twice. Now, Brooklyn has 2 wins this season. I know one of them is against the Washington Wizards, which was just the other day, 129-106, and then they beat the Pacers as well, 112-103. So the only teams that they've been able to beat are dog crap teams. No disrespect, but, you know, disrespect. They've been pretty bad. The 2 bright spots here for the Brooklyn Nets or Michael Porter Jr. Now, Michael Porter Jr. seems to be as happy as can be, right? Michael Porter Jr. is right there where, like, listen, he's no longer on a competitive basketball team. He gets all the shots he wants, whether he wants to get them up in the game or in a podcast. He can do everything he wants without having the pressure of having to win basketball games. So Porter Jr. very happy, right? Let's look at his stats right now. In 12 games, he's averaging 24 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, only shooting 35% from 3, but 47% from the field. MPJ is option number 1, 2, and 3 for the Brooklyn Nets, okay? They are still running out some rookies. Ben Sarif, the rookie, is not going to be there. Danny Wolf, one of the rookies, he had a Michigan, I think. He hasn't really been able to crack the rotation. You've got Yegor Demon, which I think is the correct pronunciation. He's been fine. Cam Thomas is injured, so he's not playing, right? So they're really thin here, and you're going to see the only other guy, which I think is worth taking note of tonight, is Nick Claxton. Nick Claxton, who, I don't know, we've kind of put ourselves into trade rumors with him just on our own, right? He's having a pretty solid year, right? Career high in points through 13 games. His average was 10. This season is averaging 15 points a game, still 7 boards a game. And the biggest number that jumps out is the 4 assists per game. I think part of that is because they don't have any guards who are over the age of 20. And he's also been, shooting 61% from the field and 71% from the line. Good rim protection. I like Claxton's game quite a bit. So I'm excited to see how Keita, who has stepped up defensively in a big way the last couple of games, is able to battle with him, with Claxton. Is he able to hold his own? I mean, the nice thing is you don't have to worry about the jumper when it comes to Nick Claxton, right? It's all going to be down in the paint. So this will be a good test for Keita. And then for Pritchard, White, and Jaylen Brown, they should be able to get whatever the hell they want, right? Whatever the hell they want. If we go look at the Nets' most recent game here, it was against the Wizards, 129-106, I mentioned. Here's their starting 5 of the 2-11 Brooklyn Nets, okay? So you are going to have Michael Porter Jr. down there. You're going to have Nick Claxton. They're rolling out Noah Clowney as well. Clowney's been playing major minutes for them, and so is Terrence Mann, along with Yegor Demon. They've had their other big minute bench guys are Zaire Williams, Tyrese Martin, and the rookie Drake Powell, who's probably been the rookie that's shown, the most promise thus far. But again, the Celtics should have no problem with this team. I don't think they have anybody that can stay in front of Jaylen Brown. If Peyton Pritchard's 3 ball is falling, they don't have anybody that's going to be able to slow that down. So they should be able to cook. They should absolutely be able to cook today. So I'm excited. I'm excited for it. And that kind of gets us to the ceiling a little bit. And, when going back to the standings, I think there's been a lot of talk around myself included. Is this a tank team? Is this a team that's going to try to, jump out into the postseason? What is the ceiling of this Celtics team? And, we've talked about the bench. Can Sam Hauser finally get the shot going? No. Keita, all this stuff. But really, I think this comes down to Peyton Pritchard and Derek White. I think what we found from Jordan Walsh is fun. It's exciting. I like it. I think it's good. I think it's fun. It's fun to have a defender, right? I'm here for that. But Pritchard and White need to be those guys. Sorry, guys. I'm adjusting my lights in real time right now. Can you see it? Do I seem darker than normal? I don't know. Let's do some different stuff. This is how the sausage gets made, boys and girls. Maybe it's just the time of day. Anyways, whatever. If Pritchard and Derek White can elevate themselves a little bit, because we can agree they're off to a relatively slow start. Let's give you some some fast PP numbers here. Pritchard here in how many games has my boy played? He's played 14 games. He's averaging 16 points. I do want to shout him out a little bit because he's gotten the field goal, the 3-point percentage up over 32, which again is still wicked low, but he was down. Oh, I said wicked, but he was down in the teens for a little while. So the fact that he's climbing up a little bit and his assists are sitting at 5 a game, I want to see that number go up. I want to see the Pritchard number go up for assists, but he's starting to round into form a little bit, and Derek White is too. White, who, again, off to a slow start shooting the ball. He's only shooting the ball 30% from 3, but is averaging 16, 4, and 5. If we can elevate those numbers just a little bit and give Jaylen Brown a true number 2 option as a scorer, I think there's a little bit more of a ceiling. I'm not talking like a first round, like a top 4 seed. They're not going to be hosting a first round playoff spot. They're not. But and this kind of gets us into our third thing. I mean, right now the Raptors are 9-5. All right, so I'm not seriously. I'm not scared of Toronto. I'm not scared. Atlanta. I am a little scared of. Atlanta looks nice. The Knicks are battling some injury stuff as we move on to the injury bugs around the league. So looking at the East, right? Cade Cunningham has missed the last couple of games. The Cleveland Cavaliers are now without Darius Garland again for a little bit of time. They're also missing Jalen Tyson with a concussion. You have the Atlanta Hawks are without Trae Young, and now have putting Porzingis on the trade block. You've got the Knicks, who are without Jalen Brunson for a little bit and OG Anunoby for a couple of weeks. You have the 76ers, who did get Paul George back last night. He looked okay, but Joel Embiid is going to play once a week, right? Like my gym routine. You've got the Miami Heat, who are 2 weeks away from Tyler Hero coming back. We're not really sure when Bam Adebayo is going to be back, although both of those guys are back at practice. The Milwaukee Bucks here are without Giannis Antetokounmpo, and we're going to find out maybe by the time this video goes live. I have a feeling that this groin injury is going to keep Giannis out for about a month. And you look at the Bucks roster without the Milwaukee Bucks, without Giannis Antetokounmpo, is that Thanasis Antetokounmpo numbers or is music? Are we going to start seeing him out there? Or is Ryan Rollins and Miles Turner and Bobby Portis really going to carry the torch for this Bucks team, right? And then Paolo Banchero, we haven't even gotten to them. The Magic are also without Paolo, even though Orlando's playing a little bit better. So the East, just from an injury standpoint alone, is wide freaking open. And honestly, below the Celtics, it's the Hornets, Nets, Wizards, and Pacers right now. Nobody's coming to get us. You know what I'm saying? Like that is going to be the basement for the foreseeable future. And not only that, Wembanyama also went down. So now after I rattled off all of those injuries, let's just look quickly at the Celtics' upcoming schedule again. I know we did that yesterday, but I feel like that's new information, right? So 2 against the Nets, then Orlando without Paolo, most likely, although this is not till Sunday. So maybe Paolo's back in action by Sunday. Then it's Philly, Memphis. Oh, no, I'm reading off the schedule we just had. All right, so it is Orlando on Sunday. They'll play Brooklyn on Tuesday, Brooklyn on Friday, Orlando on Sunday, okay? Then Detroit, probably pretty healthy. But then it's Minnesota, Cleveland, New York, Washington. So, we're going to get a really good feel right around mid-December. Again, Christmas has always been the litmus test for me. Like, can we get to Christmas and put ourselves in situations where we can be a competitive team? Because then we can get Brad Stevens wheeling and dealing a little bit if he wants to. And you look at Anthony Simons, and maybe, like, this fit just isn't working for Amp. And so you go find a new home for him, even if it's just getting a second-round pick or whatever from him. It's something like that. Man, the lighting here is bizarre. I don't know what's going on. Is it just too? Whatever, who cares? Even the dog's like, what's going on? But yeah, I don't. So like Simons, Hauser, like is the Porzingis stuff real? Which we'll get into your comments here in a second. And then also, I don't know if I mentioned this. I think I did, but the Wembanyama injury is pretty concerning. That's a bummer, man. It sounds like he's going to miss a month too. We're just running pretty poor when it comes to injuries in the league. I guess the Celtics also, since we're without Jason Tatum, but would have been nice to see everybody in there. Let's get into your comments. I know this is a little bit more of an abbreviated show today, but we didn't have too much to talk about. Nothing really happened between yesterday and today except for the injuries. Before we do that, just a reminder, do me a favor, hit the subscribe. If you've been here for all 12 minutes and haven't hit the subscribe yet, grow up. Hit the subscribe, baby. Get involved. Let's get into some of your comments from yesterday. Matthew Card said, Big Portugal. Definitely starting to do his thing. The Portuguese Prince Nemi. Now, if we can get him shooting as well, would be nice. Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't even need a ton of shooting from him. If he can extend to like foul line range, that'd be fun. Chris said, with the bigs playing decent and struggles of Sam and Anthony, would you do Hauser and Simons for KP? Now, listen, yes, I would in a heartbeat. Especially because Simons is an expiring deal, right? The thing that I'm interested with Porzingis is like, what kind of money is he looking for moving forward, and does it make sense with the current Celtics roster and their books? But yeah, I'm there with you. Jordan, our guy Jordan says, I love this comment. He says, thank you. I really enjoy this show. You do. I keep on wanting to dislike it, however, I cannot. And a lot of your commentary is spot on. I do think a lot of people tune into my stuff being like, I'm going to hate this guy. And then it's just an uphill battle to try to win you over. Well, challenge accepted, bitches. But John Dean, not Jordan. John goes on to say, a lot of your commentary is spot on. I really wish I could get inside of Brad Stevens' mind and find out what we're trying to achieve. Are we going for the pick? Are we doing the playoffs? Yeah, I'm with you, man. Like it is, because I do feel like a little Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, in the sense that I don't know. Like some days I'm like, you know what? We could get this Celtics team into a 5 seed, and then maybe Tatum does come back, and then aren't you taking Tatum and the Celtics as a 5 seed over the Atlanta Hawks, right? But then I'm like looking at some of these rookies, and it's one of the best draft classes we've seen in a long time. It's like, wow, maybe Is it worth getting to the second round this year and missing out on a lottery pick? Or do we just keep everybody healthy and fresh? Come on back, you know? A couple more comments here. Wesley feels confident. Wesley Lee feels confident that KP will sign on a vet min just to win another ring. I don't know if we could do that, but I like it. Chris also said, how good could we be if we could go double big with Q and KP? I do like it. Porzingis, man, I feel like has left a lot of teams with a sour taste in their mouth. Wizards, nobody remembers he's there. The Luka KP thing didn't work. The Knicks, he had some funky, not great off the court stuff, along with that ending sour for the Knicks. For whatever reason, Boston, in his time here, man, they love him. They love him. The fans love him. The players love playing with him. Come on back, baby. Come on back. Michael Hendry says, just trade for Nick Claxton or Cam Thomas or get Kuminga. Everything's solved. Jonathan Kuminga does not solve anything or a thing, not one thing. No, thank you. No, thank you on Mr. Kuminga or Cam Thomas for that matter. Nick Claxton? You have my attention, sir. So let's stay tuned tonight for Nick Claxton, and we'll see if he's a good fit. We'll see if he's a good fit. All right, we're going to call it there. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow, hopefully with different lighting, unless, the internet doesn't work again. Hit the sub.